Hey everyone, welcome to the second episode of my Megapark. Now, in the last episode we created the rough outline of the park and some transport rides. In this episode I want to work on the entrance area of the park. Now the first thing I want to do is to greet the guests into the park. And what better way to greet the guests than with a roller coaster. So I've been doing some thinking, and what I want to do is just make a simple out and back woodie design. So in the first drop, it will actually pass right under this area, and then it will do some hills here and a helix, and then when it comes back, it will do a short hop right over this path that leads to the park. I think it will look cool. And what I want to do afterwards is create some buildings here, make a station for the monorail here, and maybe also put sort of a hotel. Anyway, we'll see how much of that I can complete in this episode. Anyway, let's first start on the woodie. Alright, let's quickly give it a test. Curious to see how it will go through the track. It's a simple out and back design, so nothing too fancy. Just some hills, helix at the end, here another helix, and then here we pass over the path that leads from the entrance. I think it will be cool to have guests see this when they enter the park. Alright, here it goes past the first drop. And here the double up. It looks a bit slow in some parts. I think I'll go for the other trains, the 6-seaters. They'll probably work better in this layout. Alright, I'm happy with this coaster. I will now work on getting it to look nice, and then I'll also quickly make a station building for it. Now in this park I will probably use a lot of track and texture, and because I can only have 255 rides in the park, including shops, what I will do is that I will take all these track and texture rides, and somewhere in the park I'll just use a corner now. I will put a track and texture deposit. So from all the tracks that I use, I will just put a piece here, and then I can reuse those for other rides. Alright, I will just reuse those for other rides later, and since we can have 4 color schemes for every ride, that should save some ride slots. Alright, I think our woodie is finished now. That actually took me longer than I expected. I also did a little bit more in the scenery than what I initially planned, so that's why it also took a little bit longer. I think that's enough really for this episode. I will just do some quick little finishing touches. I see we'll also need some handyman right now. I wonder how many we'll have at the end of the series. And let's also hire some mechanics. Although they'll probably end up trying to go to the monorail or the miniature railway, which cannot be reached from the paths yet. Yeah, as you can see on the woodie, I also made a little transfer track here, so now it looks like this little S-bend can slide into here, and then one of the trains could be parked on this section. It's just a little touch that I like to add to my coasters, just for that little sense of realism. So yeah, also this queue path, you can see here, I replaced it with this normal path. If you go to any real theme park, you will never see these weirdly colored queue paths. They will always just look like normal paths. So that's just the reason I replaced the skew path with a normal path. Station building, really basic, but probably all the station buildings in this park will be quite basic, just to save on objects that I can use in the park. The park is insanely big, so I think at some point I will get close to the object limit, of course depending on how detailed I will build. I was planning to also make some buildings here around the entry plaza and the station for the monorail, but looking at how this went, I can probably fill an entire episode with just the building of the entrance plaza. But at least the guests now immediately get greeted with this roller coaster as soon as they enter the park. Oh yeah, also added a little tunnel here. Not really necessary, but I thought it was just fun to build. I should probably erase the ground around it a little bit. And now it actually sort of looks like the tunnel has a purpose. Anyway, I'm quite happy with how this looks. Probably in the future I will touch up some of these areas just when I see something I don't particularly like. But for now I'm happy with the way this woodie looks. So yeah, it has a big drop here in the beginning, then just a normal hill. I smoothened it out a little bit. And here there's this weird double drop section, or double up, sort of in between. Just a simple twisty turnaround. Here's some more airtime hills. Another helix. I like how the path goes around it. I added some trees here in the middle and around it. And here it goes over the entrance, and then here back to the station. Alright, I'm quite happy with the progress of today, and I really like our first coaster of the park. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll try to make another one tomorrow. Alright, see you later.